guys, it's Abhi here from Bike-urious, and today I want to bring you along for some behind the scenes from the international launch of the Kawasaki Z H2. Say hello to Nick DeSena from Ultimate Motorcycling. This launch was hosted by Kawasaki Europe, and they had everybody fly into Sin City for the festivities. So the launch has started, and I just got my little info packet in my room once I checked in. Kawasaki has these little poker chips because we're in Vegas, of course. But more importantly, they got some information, and this is going to be a fun one. I mean, look, you never want to have a bias going into a launch, but I really have a soft spot for this supercharged motor. It's this bike, the Z H2, is the naked version of what I took across the country last year for the Iron Butt Challenge, going coast to coast in 50 hours. And I fell in love with this motor when I was doing that. But that was just on a highway. I didn't really get a chance to go too crazy. And that's why I'm excited about this launch, because as you'll see here, day one is going to be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And so half the day will be on a road course that they've made out of the layout there. And then the other half of the day is on the NASCAR oval. You can see they've even got simple step-by-step instructions if you're dumb like I am. Coming in here, feel the ABS working, hear the chirping sound of the supercharger, handling test, acceleration feel, and then feel the speed. I think my personal best on a bike is something like 150 miles an hour, nothing too crazy. So I suspect I'm gonna set a new personal record tomorrow on this bike. Day two is just a street ride out to Valley of Fire State Park. That's gonna be fantastic. That's one of my favorite places in Nevada. It's gorgeous. The road is wonderful too. And I mean, they film lots of car commercials out there for good reason. But that pretty much wraps things up here. I mean, they got this cute little instructional sheet with this line, and to rewrite that famous saying, what happens in Vegas, we want the whole world to know about. I mean, it's cute, tacky, whatever you want to call it. But that's not my concern tonight. Tonight I'm gonna get some more work done, then get dinner with the other US journalists, and then relax, get some sleep, and get on the bike tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Welcome to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I attended this launch on behalf of Cycle News, which means I went instead of Rennie Skaesbrook, the current motorcycle record holder at Pikes Peak. I'm not nearly as fast as Rennie is, and my Australian accent isn't as good as his either. Thankfully, the Z H2 would prove to be very easy to ride. And besides, who can understand Australians anyway? I don't mean to sound ungrateful, because I always love doing these kinds of things, but it is 35 degrees right now, as you might be able to see, which is going to feel real cold when we're out on the track doing 150 plus. This thing is cool as hell. Nathan's gonna geek out about this Russian arm. They're gonna use this for tracking shots later in the day.
That's pretty cool.
Apparently Kawasaki Europe does not screw around. Well, we're all settled in and geared up. Let's go hit the outside road course. This isn't just a Ninja H2 without a fairing. Kawasaki made several changes that include a new frame, double-sided swing arm, intake, exhaust, fueling map, and even final drive gearing. But the craziest thing about this bike isn't the supercharger. It's actually how civil it is considering all the power. It's a surprisingly reasonable street bike. All right, lunch is over. Now it's time for the second part of day one, where we get to hit the big oval. This is the NASCAR track. The one difference is that just on the main straight here, we'll end up, you can kind of see or maybe you can't see, this GoPro doesn't zoom in very well, but we've got these little cut-ins into pit lane just to give us some time to brake and turn and accelerate, but then it's just going all around this, again, this NASCAR oval. I think I'll be setting a personal new best for top speed today.
Modern electronics are incredible. Just put this bike in sport mode, pin the throttle, and the ZH2 will float the front wheel until you hit the 12,000 RPM red line. Normally with an inline-4 engine, you have to sacrifice torque down low so you can get that top-end rush. But the supercharger gives the ZH2 the best of both worlds. This 998cc motor makes 101 pound-feet of torque at 8,500 RPM, while the 10% bigger Street Fighter V4 peaks at just 90 pound-feet, and you have to rev up to 11,500 RPM to access it. This supercharged motor is fantastic, and it has absolutely ruined other inline fours.
A little bit lower for you. Like that. There you go. You ready?
At the end of the day, Kawasaki cleared the track for photography and had us all go across the finish line for a photo. Obviously, I had to cross it on one wheel. What an amazing day. Kawasaki Tech swapped out our tires, but not for the reason you might think. We'd be riding the bikes on the street tomorrow, and that way we'd scuff them up a little bit for the next wave of journalists before they hit the track themselves.
Got a little bit of a break here in the morning. We've just got settled into Valley of Fire State Park here in Nevada. I'd say it's about, I don't know, maybe 30-40 minutes outside of Las Vegas. It's absolutely gorgeous, but we are just waiting for the police to close the road down for a few minutes so that we can go get some of the media we need in terms of photos and video for our reviews.
Valley of Fire is a busy state park, so the roads were closed off for us to make passes through this beautiful landscape. They don't get much glory, but the camera crews always work really hard behind the scenes at launches like this to make us look good. So I didn't make it easy on them by wearing the world's widest helmet. It wasn't until today's time on the street that I fell in love with the ZH2. A bike this fast should not be this easy to ride. It's surprisingly comfortable, and it's practical thanks to features like a 5-gallon fuel tank and electronic cruise control. Personally, I don't care much for the styling, but I didn't have to worry about that when I was behind the bars. The US journalists had earlier flights than our Swiss brethren, so we had to ditch and head back to our home base at the track. But first, I had to record some video.
Problem? I'm gonna check my notes while you're doing that. Hey everyone, this is Abhi Ishwarappa with Cycle News, and today I'm just outside of Las Vegas for the launch of the 2020 Kawasaki Z H2. So the US journalists are pretty much done, but the bikes just come back and get tires. Once over because I think the UK journalists come next, and it just cycles like that for a few sessions. But again, yeah, we're pretty much done, and our flight is much earlier than the Swiss journalists, so we actually got to hop on the limo and get home pretty quickly. All right, hope you've enjoyed following along. That's what I get for veering off script, and so I don't know what I said. Okay.